Making a game is tough. Making a game you're actually proud of is even tougher. For the past 3 months, we've been working on a physics-based puzzle platformer that reminds us of something in between Portal and Garry's mod. And you might be wondering, why are the card game guys suddenly making a video game? The short answer is, we wanted to learn how to make something digital, and more importantly, we wanted full control over the environments our games are played in. Also, we didn't want to write another rulebook for a while. Going into this project, we had one main goal: make something simple, but keep it polished. We talked a lot about games we love. Half-Life 2, Garry's mod, Portal. What really stood out to us in those games wasn't their scale, it was how confident they were in their mechanics. So instead of trying to jam every game mechanic ever into our game, we asked ourselves a different question. What's the simplest mechanic we could take seriously? For us, that was picking things up and putting them down. That's it. We wanted to take the most basic interaction possible and see how far we could push it, but by refining one until it felt right. We thought this project would take 1 to 3 months. Let's just say there were some technical challenges. Comical and I have been following Blargus for a while, a YouTuber who makes content about his game Blood Thief, and he uses this level editor called TrenchBroom. TrenchBroom is actually incredible. It's a Quake-style brush-based editor that lets you build and texture levels insanely fast. The suffering part started when we decided we had to learn it. Getting TrenchBroom working with Godot sounds terrifying, but honestly, it wasn't that bad thanks to the Funk Godot plugin and community and a great tutorial by Stay at Home Dev. That said, the first 2 weeks were rough. Getting Godot and TrenchBroom to talk to each other felt like trying to translate between two people who refused to learn the same language. But once it clicked, our workflow started moving at the speed of light. We could test a level, rebuild it, and test a totally new version 30 seconds later. That kind of iteration forces better design decisions. In all honesty, TrenchBroom is amazing. It will also take several years off your life. And once you learn it, you can do some really fun stuff, like throwing this weird glowing substance everywhere and standing on a box in the middle of it. There's a design philosophy at Valve that the world should respond to the player. As Gabe Newell once said, when the world ignores the player, it feels wrong. Early on in our game, we did exactly that. Players could solve levels, but it didn't feel good. So we asked ourselves, what mechanics are actually being used to beat a level? The answer was simple: throwing and building. The real problem wasn't complexity, it was control. Throwing, we added a charge system, similar to something like Sova's arrows in Valorant, so the players could control the distance and power. Before that, throwing a box was a gamble. Sometimes it worked, and sometimes it absolutely didn't. For building, we added a physics gun style system that lets the player rotate objects and adjust distance without repositioning themselves. Suddenly, the game stopped fighting the player. More control meant more expression, and that's when the game finally started to feel right.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Visually, we chose a semi-low fidelity style, 1, because retro is cool, and 2, because it made cohesion more achievable. Every texture runs through the same color palette in Aseprite. We wanted to make sure everything speaks the same visual language. Lower fidelity made it easier to stay intentional. We don't want the visuals competing with the mechanics in our game, we want them supporting each other. We also leaned heavily into shaders for things like TVs and substances to give life to these awesome models. And yeah, we probably worked on the visuals earlier than we should have, but honestly, building the world was relaxing, especially compared to the physics code. Overall, we're really happy with where the environment's going right now, and we're really excited to see where it goes. Pro tip, if you want to find bugs, give your game to someone who has never played it before. They will break it. In ways you didn't think were possible. In ways that make you question reality. But every bug fix made the game better. So our advice for anyone learning game dev, let people break your game. We had players flying. We had boxes doing things boxes should never do. Speaking of players playing the game, we're going to have a playtest build in our Discord. You can join with the link below. Apparently Comical's really fast, so if you think you could beat the game faster than him, go for it. As stated earlier, this project was originally only supposed to take 1 to 3 months. That was optimistic. We could have shipped something unfinished and still learned a lot, but we wouldn't have been proud of it. We wanted a game we actually wanted to play over and over again. So we slowed down, we polished, and we kept pushing systems further than we thought we could. Not because we had to, but because we wanted to. We truly cared about making something great. So, was doing something this hard worth it? Absolutely. Doing something this hard often means you're doing something meaningful. And creating something meaningful means you're expressing an idea that matters. We learned that programming is mostly just the ability to absorb pain. You push on a problem long enough, you eventually stumble into the solution. We learned that striving for excellence actually does raise your limits. And we learned that we're capable of way more than we thought. We'll see you in the next devlog. We've got some cool changes coming.